Okay, welcome in, folks. Welcome in. We are going to be getting started on this here. Today we're going to be setting up, at least trying to set up our rain meter skin that we're going to be using here. I figured it would be a good idea to stream it. Um, that way other people could benefit from my knowledge and um, what we learn collectively here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to download Rainmeter. Obviously, I've already got that installed, um, but that is right here. If you need to do that, it's rainmeter.net. Okay, and so we're going to go on to continue to using Rainmeter. Now it gives you a little bit of, background here on how to do different things with it. So we'll go over how to load and unload a skin. Um, so we can right click on, you'll see it'll be up there at the top. This one right here is my X input. Is there any variants on here? No. Okay. So what we're going to want to do is we want to do unload skin. Okay, so it's going to take it out of there, completely gone, right? And then if we want to load that back in, that's fine. We just need to find another place. Actually, I think that we can go to, yeah, right here. So we go to rain meter, and then we go to uh, manage right here at the top. Hey, welcome in, Canadian John Gaming. I'm glad to have met you, man. I'm glad to have met you. I'm doing well. We're learning Rainmeter right now. So one of the things that we're covering is just the very basics of how to load and unload a skin. Uh, then we want to do load with this, and it will put it right back up there it was before. This is our controller input overlay. I've got another way to do that, but I've figured that this would be a little bit easier and would give us a lot more flexibility to customize it and make it easier for other people to do the same that want to add it because the um, the OBS plugin that I use for that is just monumentally difficult to set up. Um, well, it's not monumentally, but in order to have like your own sort of personalization to it, you really need to spend a lot of time learning a few different programs, and it's just it doesn't. I wanted something that was a little bit more accessible to people, which is where Rainmeter came in. Oh, my poor translation. Okay, so but yeah, you can see it right here. This tracks our Xbox controller um, using X input. I believe that you could probably do it with D input too. No, I got scrolled up there. Okay. Um, so yeah, so we just went over how to load and unload. It's really simple. If you want to unload it, you just right click anywhere on it. Now with some of the skins, it needs to be like if I click right here, you'd think that it would bring up the little thing for it, but it's not because all of this is actually transparent. This is black back behind here. So what you want to do is find a little space where you've got some color, and then you can do it that way. And you can load in another skin using that, using the manage settings there. Or if you want to, you can go down here and load your skins in there. And it also gives you a list of all the different ones that you have. Like I've got one here for chat, and like I haven't gone into this at all. This is something we're going to tackle later. I downloaded it because I saw that it was there. Um, so let's see here. Let's go further down here. We're just going through their getting started page and how to kind of how it's all laid out. The next thing it talks about is variants. So the different variants are different ways of displaying it. Now let's see if this one has a variant. It doesn't. Okay, so let's just go ahead and load in uh, the Illustra one that they're using. Okay, so what are they using here? They're using disks. Okay, so we've got two different options here. We've got disk one and disk two. Let's go ahead and load that up. That's going to give us this little one here, right? And that's going to show us, okay, your C drive has this amount of, space taken up on it. And we can also do right clicking on that specific one will let you open up the other stuff there. So we can open up disk one. right? So that shows you just the one hard drive there. So we're going to go ahead and unload that. Okay, so then it's going to talk about transparency settings. So let's go ahead and load up another one of those basic Illustro ones. That doesn't have it. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I'm not perfect on the different menus here yet. Okay, so let's load up that right there. And we can go here to the settings, right? So we've got a bunch of different settings. You could, if you've got two monitors like I do, you can tell it which one you want it to go to. Um, you can send it to a virtual screen, which I'm not going to cover right now. I don't know anything about that, to be honest. You can also set the transparency. So if we were to set this to, say, 50%, then it's actually going to make that a little bit transparent. And if we drag it over here, you can see that it's right on top of this like that, right? And then we can do, let's go ahead and adjust the transparency back to 0%. So you see it's got this full little gray thing here. Give me one moment here to get a drink. Welcome in, Tobias. How are you doing? How are you doing? We're doing some work here with a Rainmeter to kind of see what all we can do to, at- for me at least, I want to be able to, see the disk usage, CPU usage, all of that stuff while I'm playing the game. So I can see like, oh, there's a bottleneck here, like it's the RAM or it's the CPU, something like that. And I think that folks might enjoy seeing that. I don't know. It's 90 different than stream avatars, I guess. Um, but yeah, I wanted to kind of mess around with that and let people benefit from what I've learned and what we're going to learn together. Okay, yeah, so we're going over the settings here. We got a different ones there for transparency. And then you can have it like when if we were to hover our mouse over it, like let's do hide, then it disappears, right? Which also makes it really difficult to click when you want to change it back. Okay, so, but that's fine. We can go into Rainmeter here. We can go into skins, Illustro. Actually, that actually does bring up a point. What do you do when that happens? We want to go into manage right here. Okay, so we go to Illustro. We go to disk. We go to disk1.ini. And then we want to go to on hover and do nothing. So you can change all of those settings right in here from the management UI. And then let's do, that may not have been the one that we were using, so let's go ahead and go back into there. Okay, let's do a refresh. Is that going to, oh, you know what? It probably got hidden underneath this. Yep, there it is right there. All right, so let's bring that back over here. We're just going to have it sitting right there so that we can see where it's at. And let's go into some of the, I think that's most of the settings on there. Yeah, so you've got a bunch of different options here, and I'm not going to go over the obvious things. Like click through means that it's, rather than if I were to right click on it, like if I were to right click it here, instead of it giving me that menu, it would give me the window menu, like as if I had clicked over here like that. That makes sense. I think that's the only one that might be a little bit unfamiliar to some folks. It would be nice if these subtitles there we go. And that's one of the other things that I want to tackle is putting the subtitles on there as well so that we've got more space and more availability to do stuff with it. Um, Okay, and then the tray icon kind of describes just what I went over there. And we went through the management sort of stuff. But let's say that you've downloaded a skin. Okay, let's go into our management tab here. This is it. Okay, this lets us create a new skin. So we'll be doing that soon. Um, but we can believe, yes, if you go to create RM skin, you can go in here and you can add a skin that you've downloaded. Um, let's see, so let's say you've downloaded a custom folder. So we can go into, I don't know if I have any on here or not. Let's go into documents and see if there's anything in there. I thought that I had downloaded one that didn't get installed, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, see if there's anything in there. I don't think that this is a little bit more advanced. But usually all you got to do is download it, and here, I'll pull it up here in our file folder here. So let's go to downloads, and then see, I've got like comely notes, which is the little note that I had for the beginning, the visualizer, which is the little bars up here, um, and a couple of exit, like all of these. So all you do is you just right click, and it has a little menu dialog, install Rainmeter skin, easy. Some of them come in zip files and are a little bit more difficult to set up. Those are usually going to be outdated anyways. Okay, and then we need to go into customizing here. And this tells you, there's different ways that you can, different places that you can download skins. You don't have to make your own. There are plenty of absolutely gorgeous and beautiful ones. Something you do need to be aware of, though, is downloading it from sites that are not, I guess, authorized by the community, if that makes sense. Rainmeter.net anybody that's doing anything serious with it is probably going to put their skins there or on DeviantArt. Um, let's see here. Oh, here it tells you how to add them in there right there. So I'll let y'all figure that out if that's something that y'all want to do. Okay, so now we're going to get into how to edit the skins. So let's pull up, and you can do it right there. It just says edit skin. So we're just going to pull that up right there. Okay, now I've got this in Notepad. So we can minimize this for right now till we get into it. Okay, so the important things here that we need to take away from this is that skins customization options are saved as variables, right? Okay, so we're going to follow along with this. It wants us to, okay, the file clock.ini. I have no idea where that clock went. Let's see if we can find it here somewhere. I have no idea where clock.ini is. Let's go back here. Yeah, it says it's loaded in. So let's go back to management, Illustro, clock.ini. There it is. Oh, it was competing with that. Okay, there we go. So let's go into here. Okay, we want to click the edit skin. Great. Okay, move this back up over here. Um, Most of the time, the skin's customization options, that is options that the author intends and expects you, the user, to change around are saved as variables. Okay, this is what the configuration looks like. Okay, so everything is set up into three basic elements. We've got a section, which is going to be this right here. It says like rain meter, metadata, variables. Okay, so we can edit this. Let's go ahead and change this font. We want to use Courier New. So let's go ahead and save that. And we're going to re-click, or we're going to click that. We're going to click refresh skin. Boom, there it is. It's easy, simple, just like that. Um, okay, keys are found at the beginning and of a each line is section followed by an equal sign. So that's again the font name, text size. So we can make the text size even bigger on this. We could do, let's say we want it to be really big. We can do it 16, right? And we do file, save, refresh again. Boom, there it is right there. Now obviously that's going to be too big for what we're doing. So we want to make this smaller. Let's say, let's try 12. Okay, and then we can refresh this again. Boom, there we go. Now it's a little bit bigger, but the Y is cut off. Um, so we're just going to put this back down to 8 for now. Okay, and I'm going to put on a little bit of music in the background while we go through this next part here. There it goes. Okay, and then a value, that's going to be, again, Courier New 8, or the different colors like they've got here. Okay, right, so we went through all of that there. Okay, this is all you need. I would recommend Notepad++. We're gonna turn this down just a little bit more. But yeah, I would recommend using Notepad++. Um, it's a much more functional text editor. If you just want to use regular Notepad, you can do that too. This is a one that I call. It's called Black Notepad, and it just makes it all black there and gives you a little bit more options and creature features there, or comfort features. Yeah, so you might want to. We'll get into the image editing stuff. Um, but you can get GIMP, which is basically the same thing, and is free. And I would recommend using that. That's what I'm going to be using. Okay. Okay. So the core of every one of these is going to be an INI, skin name.ini. Right now we have test script.ini. We'll change that later. Because the skin can have any number of variants, which is going to be like different ways that it looks, right? Let's see if we got variants here. Let's find one that has some variants in it. I know the Monster Cat one does. There we go. So we'll go here. Oh, it's just going to give me the visualizer. Okay, right. So this one has like two different versions of it. We're going to go ahead and unload that because I'm not using it. And that just displays which side. There's a lot more to this plugin that's on my monitor. It's right above this one. Um, but we're not really worried about any of that. Okay, let's go ahead and close that out. This gives a good little idea of how it works, right? So we're going to go ahead and set this up, right? We've got our creative folder here. Okay, let's create a new folder in here. We're going to call this folder Aardwolf. And here is where we're going to put all the different sections that we want. So we're looking at something for time zones, for CPU and GPU stuff. We're going to try and figure out how to pull the song information from Winamp into this. So that gives us even more options rather than the Winamp skins. It's going to let us make everything flow together and have a more uniform presentation. Um, then we want a list of our games, which is going to be basically just kind of like how I have it set up now, but we just want to have all of this kind of um, again, we want to have be able to control everything about the presentation of all of this stuff so that we can make changes, move things around, and we're not stuck with like what Windows gives us. More languages for translation. That's going to go back to the subtitles down here at the bottom. Um, and then the input presses. We've already got our input overlay here. And so what I would like to do is have it show, I press the A button or the B button, kind of have that as like a stream down the side here or something like that, so that folks can see that as it's happening real time beyond just the actual button presses. In the fighting game community, that's something that they like to have, and so I want to be able to provide that functionality when we're working with the input overlay stuff there. Um, and then Twitch chat integration, followers integration. Again, we've already got some plugins for that, but we want to do it ourselves, or at least I want to do it myself so that I understand how it works and what's going on in the background. And then for the video, how do I say that? I'm terrible at it. We're just going to call it VideoTube. So for VideoTube, there is a way to, let's go to Video Ninja, right? This is Vito.ninja. So we can do remote screen share into OBS, right? And so it lets you pick between different ones. Pick select screen to share, and then it gives us two different options, or we can do an application window. So we can share just one of these, right? So we could even share just the visualizer or just the song titles or anything else like that that we wanted to, right? Or just a little note there. But what this does excuse me, what this does let us do is with VideoTube, you just send that to there, and then you've already got like the little image there going of it, right? Let's see here. Do I still have that up? I don't. But here, I'll do it right now, real time with mine, right? From the other computer that is streaming. So let's do a remote screen share into OBS. Do application window, VideoTube Mini, and do share. Okay, and then this gives me a little link that I can use, and I can pull that into OBS. But if we just go to that on its own, it's going to load it in. All right, there. And so now we've got VideoTube or VideoTube um, already up here, showing what's coming through on on OBS on my computer that I'm streaming from. And it is a little bit delayed, I think, but it's not a huge problem. Okay, and so then we're gonna go. What are we doing? Oh, here we go. We were in the Ardwell folder. So we've kind of gone through that, but and that's the plans that I have for it right now. We might add more to that. We might take some off of it. I'm not entirely sure yet. But we want to make this very, very modular, um, so we can load different pieces in and move them around as we need to. So let's go ahead and make the before we get into that, let's just go ahead and sit down here. What do we want? What time zones do we want to display? And so for this, I went through and looked at where my viewership comes from on Twitch. Um, so I know that I've got, a lot of folks from the US. So you want to do East, West Coast, which is going to be GMT -5 and GMT -8. And then we also want to do London GMT 0. Um, and then we want to do Germany, which is GMT, whatever. We'll figure that out. Um, and then we want to include somewhere in Ukraine, which is GMT, whatever. And then we'll see if the Germany and the Ukraine one are similar. If they're both like GMT -3 or +3 or whatever it happens to be, then we won't do that. We'll just leave it how it is. And then we want to add in Japan, which is GMT, whatever, and Australia, which is GMT, whatever. Um, and just because I want to do it, we're going to add in one of the U.S. research bases in Antarctica. I would love to have a viewer from Antarctica. So I want to be sure that's in there, you know. Ross Station, Antarctica, GMT, whatever. I don't know. Okay. So now that we've kind of defined that, we know what we're looking for. But we also want to include any sort of other chronology stuff in here. So I'm going to add in the system uptime. And we may do that at the top or the bottom. I haven't decided yet. I think it probably makes more sense to do it up at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. I have that right there, system uptime. Okay, so then within our Aardwolf folder, which is the root folder, we're going to create another one. This is going to be time zones. Okay, and then we do so for our GPU, CPU, nonsense, temps, etc. We're actually going to break this into two sections. We're going to break this into I'm going to do temperatures, and we're going to do usage percentage. Okay, and then we want to break this further down into CPU, GPU, or GPU temperatures usage. percentage, right? Okay. Okay, so now we want to make a new one, a new folder here for that. We're going to do folder. We're going to do stats. Yeah. Okay, then we go into here and we're going to do a new one folder, and this is going to be CPU and GPU. Do another one folder. This is going to be MISC. And then in the MISC folder, we want to do RAM information. What else would we like to put in there? Hard drive information. System information. That's going to be like the GPU name, CPU name. Actually, we should probably do that up here. Okay. Sense info CPU. We want to do sysinfo GPU. And this will be I'm trying to think here on if we want to do the sysinfo on the, yeah, I think that we probably should. I think we probably should. Okay, so we've got our RAM information there. We'll have hard drive information and other system information. We're just going to leave that reserved for right now because I don't know what all we might want to add in. Okay, next thing we want to do, I found out that we will need to use Winamp. We'll have to have Winamp going, but let's go ahead and do another one for this. New folder, music. There's probably not going to be anything to, any subfolders in that. And by manipulating how we view the folder, we can actually keep this in order of as we create it, right? So as we go down through these different things here, that way we don't necessarily kind of get lost with it, right? Okay, so song stuff for Winamp. We want to put in here needs Winamp running. Something we want to add in is maybe fan speeds. So we'll include that in the MISC information. Fan speeds, question mark. Okay, input overlay. And I know for this that it's going to need X input information. We need to find this and how to access X input. Now we can go in here and is word wrap not on here? How do we do that? Whatever. Easy fix. So it's like I can go in here and I can edit the scan and I can see, let's go down here. So it's like it's a measure X input start. So it's a plugin, the plugin is X input. So I need to figure out um, where that plugin exists and how to access it. And I think we may have, nope, I don't see anything there. Okay, that's going to help me figure that out. Anyways, that's not important. So let's do new folder, input overlay. We want to do another new folder for our game list. And what I want to do with that, display a list of games that are currently installed, available. Now we might be able to do, let's see here. This probably won't get all of them, but there should be a way to pull information from both of these. But let's go in here. Actually, let's do new window. Okay, so let's go to, don't worry, I have another hard drive. We're gonna be okay. um, let's go to program files x86, Steam, Steam apps, common. Yeah, so this is gonna pull all the different games that I have installed on the computer through Steam right now. So that's gonna be probably a better solution um, than the games folder, unless we make a separate folder that is just links to that that we then include. I think we'll probably set it up as just Steam. That way, again, it's accessible for anybody that installs this that has Steam. It's going to pull that Steam list and just have the games there, and they don't have to do any setup. We want to make it as easy for our users to access. Uh, we just want to make it as accessible as possible. Okay, input presses. That's actually going to go into input overlay. So let's actually make two separate folders for that. Let's do new folder. This is going to be controller overlay and um, history. Let's do this. Let's rename this to just controllers. No reason to make it that long. Okay, and this is going to go into here. Okay, more languages for translation. So this, I believe, has to use Google Translate, but what I'm hoping is that we can find a way to generate like the subtitles as I have them now to a file. And then all we just need to do is read from that file. Okay. And so let's write down what we want to do here. We need to access the Google Translate API, just like current subtitles do, or pull that information from the existing setup. Okay, so this next section that we do, this is going to be, we're just going to call this Twitch. We can use, the neat thing about this is that we can use Lua to detect what comes in from Twitch chat. And so it's like if it's like, oh, so and so just subscribed or so and so just followed, we can actually have that um, automate whatever we need it to do. We can have it play a song file. We can have it, load up a picture, whatever. So it takes everything that you would get from Stream Elements and localizes it where you're in control of it. You're not having to depend on another different service. Okay. Um, okay, so let's do a new one here. We're going to do folder. We're going to have chat. And we're going to have followers, have subscribers. So what we want with this is we want to have it display, like three different followers or the last three subscribers or the last subscriber, something like that. Let's do new folder. Let's do donations or donors. Donors. Let me think of what else needs to go in here. The problem is that I don't know. I think that we can get whatever information is in the Twitch API. So we could do like stream title, we could do the game category, we could pull all of that theoretically. Everything that we can pull or everything that Chatty pulls, we should be able to pull too. It's just a question of how we get to it. And theoretically, we might even be able to make it to where you can change all of that. So you could change it from Rainmeter, which would be really, really cool. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. We're going to go ahead and unload that skin. Okay, so you want chat, donors, followers, stream information, editing, question marks, subscribers. Um, I guess with stream info, we could do the uptime for the stream info there too. Include uptime. leave a question mark on if I want to include like the viewership. I'm not a big fan of that, but whatever. Okay, so let's do a new one. Oh, that's not where we want to do that. Let's delete that. Okay, so let's go back up. Folder. This is going to be actually let's change that. Let's change that to Video Ninja. Because this could be used for anything. Like you could pull in any virtual camera. Um, so we want to um, figure out how to do that. Video.ninja ambitious project replicate Video Ninja locally. I don't think that it would be terribly difficult, but again, I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. Um, so again, we know that it can be done. We can get the source from web pages and we can figure out how to do it. So, um, okay, so I think that's going to be it for setup. Let's go ahead and make our first skin. All right, so we've got testscript.ini. All right. Okay, so let's go to manage. Okay, let's create new skin. Okay. Okay, it says to name this folder or okay, so we're actually going to name this Aardwolf. And then we can migrate everything over into this folder from where we've got it set up right now. We're going to work over here um, on the one that we've got set up, and then we'll migrate everything over here by hand. Okay. Okay, so this brings up aardwolf.ani. This is going to be the main one, right? That we put everything else is going to be within this. Okay, the update option is what sets the length of the skin's update cycle. This length is given in milliseconds or 1/1000th of a second. So update equals 1000 means that the skin will update once per second. Okay, let's change the default string meter. The meter option is required to tell Rainmeter that the section is a meter. The value of the option determines what type of meter it is. So that's this section right here. So this tells it that it's a meter, and then this tells it whatever type of meter we're going to be using. So this is a text string. Okay, so let's do text equals call apogee, say Aardwolf. Okay, so we're going to save this. I have no idea where it went. Position, let's do stay topmost. We're going to go over here. Come on, show the desktop. Don't know why it's not showing us anything. Well, let's go back and see if it tells us why it isn't going to show us anything. Yeah, I can't even see that. Oh, top leftmost corner. And I don't even see it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get a little creative with it. I think that should be white. It's either that or 255. Oh, here we go. Nope, I still do not see it. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't use the right variable. See, this is what we're learning here, right? Okay, so we want to do anti-alias equals 1. That just makes it a little bit nicer. Everybody that plays video games should have a basic concept of what anti-aliasing is. Okay, so font color. Okay, and then font face, we want Courier new. And font size, we'll make that 20. Let's save that. We go here and we hit refresh. There it is. So we can put this anywhere we want. We're going to leave it right there. Okay, I think that that's probably going to be a good little stream here for us. We're at just over an hour, and I think that's probably going to be exactly what we need. So you can move this all around, and now you know how you can, if you just want to put like simple stuff up, like little text or whatever on your screen, that you edit manually, that's it right there. It is super, super simple. You can change the color, whatever else you need to do with it. So that's just adding text in there. I think that's going to be a great place for us to end it today. So let's see if we've got someone online that we can go see. Okay, we're gonna go see Lemon Seals. They're doing some Crisis Core, and I absolutely love this guy. He is a blast, and y'all are in for a treat. We've got a wonderful song coming up with him. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And this is going to be made available on YouTube for everybody that missed it.